yogis, welcome to your yoga mat. Start from a supine on your back position, just allowing the feet to splay right to left. You can bring your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your chest. As the shoulders relax back and down, just allowing your mind to catch up to where your body is. Anything that happened before you got to your mat, allowing it to be where it is. Just tuning in to your breath right here. As you take your next exhalation, root your tailbone down towards your mat. Start to lift your arms up overhead, reaching through the fingertips and then pointing the toes. Maybe taking some rolls or circles to the wrists or the ankles. And then pressing your tailbone down to the earth, pull your knees in towards your chest. Bring your hands to the top of the knees, fingers pointing towards your toes. As you exhale, pull the knees close into the body. As you inhale, straighten the arms, push the knees away from your body. Exhale, pull the knees in. And one more time like this. Inhale, pushing the knees away, finding length through the belly. As you exhale, pull the knees in towards your chest. Now let the shins parallel with your mat, strongly flexing your feet towards you and spread your toes. Interlace your fingers at the base of your neck and allow the elbows to widen out towards the side, really cradling the neck. And then as you inhale, lift your shoulder blades up off of the earth. Keep the tailbone rooted down. Deep exhalation to slowly release the shoulders, the back body, the neck back down to the earth. When you're ready, next inhale, lift the shoulders up off of the mat. Relax the neck here and allow the hands to really cradle and support that space. Notice what shakes and what fires up. Release as you exhale, and then take a full body stretch here again. Press the tailbone down. Let the soles of the feet root down to the earth as the knees bend. The arms come down beside you and shoulder blades roll underneath the back body. As you inhale, lift the hips up towards the sky, feeling length through the back body, through that space between the shoulder blades and into the neck, releasing any tension there. Find your breath here. And taking an exhalation, slowly beginning to release the hips back down to the earth, come back to neutral spine. Rooting the feet down to the earth. As you inhale, lift the arms and the hips up off of the earth. The arms reach overhead. Root the feet down, long through the front of the body. Opening up the front of the hips, which might be tight if you sat at a desk all day. As you exhale, lower the body back down to the earth. With your next inhale, lift the hips, float the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, roll everything back down to the earth. Return the arms to neutral. Hugging the knees in towards the chest, maybe some gentle rocking right to left. Now releasing both feet to the earth, cross your right ankle over your left knee. Strongly flex that right foot, and you can open up the right knee by giving it a gentle press with your right hand. If this feels good, stay here. Take the pose a bit further by hugging both knees towards your chest. Interlace your hands behind that left upper thigh. Strongly flex both feet. And if it becomes too much at all, feel free to release at any time. Some gentle rocking here might bring sensation to tight areas within your body. You can give that some exploration. And then slowly releasing your bind here and release the arms. Now we'll keep the bind in the legs and drop the legs to the left side of your body for a twist. Send your gaze opposite from your legs. Now the sole of that right foot will probably connect to the earth. Inhale, bring it all back to center. One more bind behind that left leg, and then slowly releasing here. Switching sides, cross left ankle over right knee. Strongly flex that left foot, spread the toes. Gentle opening with the left hand on the left knee. Staying there or taking it further by hugging both knees in towards your chest, flexing both feet, and maybe adding in that gentle rocking here, side to side. And then moving into that twist on the second side, the left sole of the foot's going to touch the earth. Gaze goes away from the legs, and we find this bound up supine twist. And gently release the twist. One more bind by hugging underneath that right leg. Now we'll let both legs come in towards the body and start to rock and roll forward and backward on your mat. So the length of the mat. If you have tightness in the shoulders, that gentle pressure as you roll onto the back body with the weight of your body will probably help break up some of that tension and tightness. And we'll come all the way to standing. So the next time that you rock forward, pull the knees in towards each other and come to standing with a little bit of momentum. Making your way to the top of your mat, equal standing with the feet. Gentle bend to the knees and then stretch your arms out to a T. Take a moment here to just close the eyes, spread the fingers wide. And as you take your next exhalation, forward fold with a generous bend to the knees. Now allowing the belly to drape over the top of the thighs, shake your head yes and no. Find some gentle organic movement, bending one knee at a time. And really just releasing the weight of the upper body. You can interlace your hands back behind your back body, allowing your elbows to move towards each other and hands to float towards the top of the mat. Then slowly releasing the bind if you decided to take that. Next inhalation, hands come to shins, lift halfway out of the pose, breathe into the back body. Stay here for an exhalation, another inhale, exhale and fold. Next inhalation, lift halfway up. Parallel shoulders and hips, pull the belly in, long through the back of the neck. Exhale, release and fold. Now stepping one foot at a time towards the back of your mat, make your way to a downward facing dog shape. Gentle bend to the elbows here, pointing the elbows towards the earth. Gentle bend to the knees. And then finding some organic movement here. What feels good? Shake out the head, shake the hips right to left. Now stepping the feet mats width apart, so widen out the stance. Let your left hand reach over and cross on the outside of your right ankle. Find this downward facing dog twist. Return that left hand back to neutral, switching sides. Right hand binds on the outside of the left ankle. Find a twist to the opposite side. Return that right hand back to neutral. Then stepping the feet back to hips width apart, so narrowing the stance. Walk your hands to about midway on your mat. Sink most of your weight into the legs, allowing the fingertips to lightly touch the earth. Kind of a hybrid between a downward dog and a forward fold here. Now walking your way back out to a longer downward facing dog. As you take your next inhalation, parallel your body with your mat, high plank pose. Press your mat away from you with the arms strong through the legs. As you exhale, elbows squeeze close into the body, slowly lowering onto the belly. Flatten the tops of the feet, spread the toes. Inhale, lift your head and your heart off of your mat, cobra pose. Stay there for an exhalation. Another deep inhale, press through the palms. And as you exhale, slowly release, press into the hands, and then sink the hips towards the heels, allowing the big toes to touch, child's pose. Root the top of the feet to the earth, spread the toes away from each other. Find your breath here. And then moving nice and slow, spread the feet, hips width apart again. And then keeping the hips and the legs right where they are, begin to crawl the hands forward, allowing the forehead to come to the earth. You can take the pose a bit further by lifting the head and bringing the chin to the earth. And you can always make adjustments here. Spread your hands farther away from each other if that feels better for your body. Slowly releasing, make your way to hands and knees pose. And then curling the toes under, lift the hips up towards the sky, downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift your right leg up off of the earth. Bend the knee, allowing the hips to stack here. Keep that right foot flexed, toes spread. As you exhale, a big step forward to the top of your mat with this right foot. Frame the foot with the hands. Find this lunge pose. Back knee comes to the earth, and then allowing this front leg, the right leg, to straighten here. Flexing that right foot, and we roll into and out of this half monkey god pose, half Hanumanasana pose. Gently opening up the back of the hamstrings for that right leg. Now coming back to neutral lunge, pivot the heel of the left foot down to the earth, and as you inhale, lift your torso, bring the palms together at heart center. Lengthen the torso, neutralize the spine here, nice deep bend to that front knee. As you inhale, float the arms up overhead, warrior one. Palms facing each other, gaze can go up towards the sky. As you exhale, release the hands, frame that front foot. Big step back, downward facing dog, lift the hips high. Next inhale, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, allow the hips to stack. And then with some momentum, a big step forward, left foot comes to the top of the mat. Find that lunge. Squeeze the upper inner legs together. And then back knee comes down. We roll into and out of half Hanumanasana, second side. Left leg begins this rock into lunge and then into half monkey god pose. Flex the left foot strongly. At any point, if it feels great, find a stay. Lift that back knee up off of the earth. Pivot the right heel down. Lift the torso up. Palms come together at heart center. Next, inhale, float the arms all the way up overhead. Warrior one. Hip bones square forward to the top of your mat. As you exhale, frame the foot with the hands. Big step back, and this time we come to our high plank pose. Continue to press the mat away from you with the hands, strong through the belly and through the legs. Next exhalation, lower to a hover. Flip to the tops of the feet, and then lift the head and the heart, upward facing dog. Relax the shoulders here, stay here for an exhalation. Another deep inhale, press through the feet. As you exhale, lift the hips up towards the sky. Flip to the soles of the feet, downward facing dog. Now slowly step your feet forward to the top of your mat. As you inhale, lift halfway out of your pose. Stay there for an exhalation, hands to shins. Next, exhale, forward fold. And then slowly rise, bringing a generous bend to the knees. Palms come together at the center of the heart. And we'll take a wide step on the mat. So step that right foot back. So with this big wide stance here, knees, hips, everything tracks forward. With the hands on the hips, press the hips down. And then as you take your next exhalation, forward fold here, releasing the hands to the earth. You can come out of the pose, next inhale, and then exhale, forward fold into the posture. You can walk your hands in line with the arches of the feet, maybe bringing the crown of the head to the earth, or you can certainly leave just the hands on the earth, wherever it feels comfortable for you. Next inhalation, bring hands below shoulders, lift halfway out of the pose. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, lift all the way to upright. Now bring the heels in towards each other. And then as you exhale, bend the knees here. Lifting through the arches of the feet. Arms lift to cactus arms, so bent elbows here. Bring the hands to the top of the knees. As you exhale, bring the right shoulder towards the center. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, left shoulder comes towards the center. Gentle twist here. Inhale to neutral. Exhale that right shoulder in. Big deep in breath back to neutral. Exhale, left shoulder comes towards center for a gentle twist here. Inhale back to neutral. Lift the arms up, straighten the legs. They're probably on fire right now. Walk the feet in towards each other and then a big step forward to the top of your mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms out to a T. Exhale, forward fold. Now step your way back one foot at a time, downward facing dog. Press through the knuckles and the fingertips of the hands. Next inhalation, high plank pose. Press your mat away from you, strong through the legs. Now take a long, deep exhalation. Elbows squeeze close to the body. Come to a hover. Inhale your way up, upward facing dog. Flip to the tops of the feet. Stay there for an exhale. Another deep inhale. As you exhale, lift the hips up towards the sky. Downward facing dog. Inhale your way to plank pose. This time lower all the way on to the belly. Prone position. Tops of the feet flatten to the earth. Press your hip bones down to your mat. As you inhale, lift the head and the heart off of the earth and slide your forearms forward. So now we have an alignment of elbows below shoulders, Sphinx pose. Parallel the left forearm at the top of your mat and then roll onto your left hip. So now we have ankle stacking, knees stacking, hip stacking, and shoulder stacking. This is a big side body opener or lateral movement for the spine. Bring the top hand to the hip. Step that top foot behind you, and then as you inhale, lift both of your hips up off the earth. The top arm can sweep alongside the ear. We call this sunny side up, allowing the heart to open. Lots of strength through both of the legs. As you exhale, roll back to Sphinx pose. Press the hip bones down, top of the feet root down. Switching sides here, so right forearm comes to the mat, we roll to the right side body. Top hand comes to hip. When you're ready, float that top foot back behind you, bending that left knee. And then as you inhale, lift your hips up off the earth. Top arm can stay on the hip or it can float up, lifting the heart center up towards the sky. As you exhale, roll back to your neutral prone position, resting one cheek on the mat. Take a moment here To reconnect with your breath, notice what's fired up in the body. Now stretching your arms out to a T, we'll open up through the front of the shoulders. Slowly start to roll onto the right shoulder. So the left hand can walk towards you. We roll onto the right hip. So we pin that right shoulder back behind the body. You can use a blanket here for the head and the neck. Just leave them relaxed. Take the pose a bit further if it's appropriate for your body by bending both knees, letting the soles of the feet come to the earth, and then reaching your left arm back behind you to maybe bind the arms together. Then we switch sides here. So extend the left arm back behind the body. And then taking it a bit further, bending both of the knees, letting the soles of the feet come to the earth, and then maybe binding right arm stretches back. And just go with what feels good for your body here. Slowly release this. Come back to prone on the belly. Pressing through the hands, make your way to hands and knees pose, and then sink the hips towards the heels, child's pose. This time allow the arms to come beside the body with the palms facing up towards the sky. Now letting the hands come below the shoulders, lift the torso to upright, cross the ankles, and then allow the legs to come out in front of you. I like to use a blanket to sit here to take a little pressure off of my low back. Let the hands root down beside you and lengthen up the torso. Flex the feet strongly towards you. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Keeping the back body long as you exhale, hinge forward to a forward fold. Hands can come beside the legs. They might reach the toes. If you find the toes, take your peace fingers and bind them around the big toes. Thumbs come to the top of the toe. Inhale, lengthen up, and as you exhale, fold. You can find some organic movement here, shaking out the head gently, or maybe you roll into and out of the posture. As you take your next inhale, lift the torso, release, maybe a little point and flex of the feet, of the toes. Now coming into a cross-leg posture that feels good for you. Start to release the neck here. So as you exhale, allow your right ear to come towards your right shoulder. Take a few breaths here. As you exhale, roll the head and the neck forward, and then your next inhalation will be left ear to left shoulder. As you exhale, head and neck roll forward. Inhaling, right ear to right shoulder. You can send your gaze up or send your gaze down. See if there's a spot that needs a stay. Exhale, release the head and the neck forward. And then inhaling, left ear to left shoulder. Begin that exploration again, looking down, looking up. See if you find a tight spot that needs a little bit of love. Inhale the head and the neck up to neutral. Stretch the arms out to a T. Now cross the elbows in front of you and then hinge the hands up towards each other, palm to palm. Or you can just grab opposite elbows here if that works better for your body. So either bind. Take it a bit further as you exhale, gentle lean forward. Feel the spread of your shoulder blades on the back body, gently. Inhale back to neutral with the torso. Stretch the arms out to a T. Then switch the cross here. So whichever one you didn't do. It might be nice to switch the cross of your legs here too. Find your bind, whichever one works for you, and as you exhale, lean forward, gentle hinge. Spread of the shoulders, release of tension from the upper back body. Slowly release, inhaling to lift and stretch the arms out to a T. So next we'll find a posture that is said to work every muscle in the body. With your legs crossed just as they are, press into the hands and lift your seat up off of your mat. Now slowly release back down. As you inhale, lift just the ankles up off the mat. Flex the feet strongly. Now slowly switching the cross of your legs, press through the hands, lift the seat up off of the earth. So a little bit of a hover, lots of strength through the arms. And then lifting just the ankles up off the earth. Now either take another variation of those pickup poses with the feet crossed, or you might have a half lotus or even a full lotus in your practice. And if you do, find that lotus posture, full or half, and then do the same thing here. Press through the hands, maybe lift the whole body up off of the earth to a hover. This is Tolasana or scale pose. Release back down, and then for balance we switch the cross here. So whichever one you didn't just practice, either half lotus, or if your full lotus is in your practice, we cross both of the ankles over the top of the legs, flex the feet strongly, and then use some momentum to inhale, lift. Remember, we're working every muscle in the body here. Slowly releasing that. Take your rolled blanket or even a pillow and allow that to be your propping for your knees. So now we come into Shavasana or relaxation pose. Any final gestures or movements here that you need before we relax, making those now. And then allowing the body to just splay on the mat, returning to that place in which we started our practice. If you feel any tightness in the back, there's an indication that maybe you'd like a blanket underneath your back body. Use your next inhale to fill your body deep and full. As you exhale, release through your nose. Next inhale, fill your body through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale deeply through your nose. This time let it go with a big sigh. Feel the body completely relax here. Now you can certainly pause the video if you prefer a long relaxation, which is what I recommend. And if so, pause the video and then come back to us when you're ready. Or you can stay right where you are. Now bringing your attention back to your body. As you exhale, press your tailbone to the earth. Pull your knees in towards your chest. And then rolling your body to the right side. Notice sensation in your body. Press into the strength of both arms. And then return to a seated posture, allowing the eyes to remain closed. Lift the palms together at heart center. Now from here, set an intention for the rest of your day. In gratitude for this body, for the practice of yoga, for all that it can bring, tension release, challenges for your body. From this place of gratitude, Namaste.